Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
A bitch. You can't even put up more than 5K. I'll shoot you in your face. Better watch your mouth. Over here bothering my peace. Y'all bums. Boy, use a screenshot this page, boy. I swear to God, I'm gonna find this. On my mama, I'm gonna find you. Watch.
Nobody see you, bro.
Tight. Yo,
I don't know some random ass.
My son Matt, he got no motion, bro.
That is tight.
Tay, let me freaking peek, man. Let me freaking peek.
Tight.
Double tap, man.
Like the
Watch. How much you wanna bet I find this?
What's going on?
Oh my God, man. You go for your ass up, bro. Get off my screen, clown. You ain't getting no more screen time from me, goofy.
I don't know that. Do not be inviting me. That's why. If we battle one-on-ones, that's cool. Don't be inviting me to no.
That's my fault. Not seriously.
Don't do that. I don't with these, bro.
Alright, my fault.
Yo, man. Let me pull this back in again. I'm gonna start. Let me start from the top, okay? This is crazy because you gotta understand, Soulja Boy is crashing out online with regular TikTok. It's a TikTok creator deal. TMZ's reporting this, and it's a trip to me because it said Soulja Boy crashes out on TikTok threatening to shoot content creators. And I'm trying to understand, is this a level of mental illness or is this something that youngsters are doing? And I'm just old. And I had to bring my guy from New York in, man, my boy Dre from New Jersey. Let me quit saying New York by way of New Jersey. Let's go.
Yeah, both, man, because if all the buildings in New York will fall, this pimp is standing tall. But listen, that's crash out culture. And crash out culture has become the new version of trolling, right? You know, when Tekashi 6ix9ine was popular, trolling was the culture. Now we got crash out culture. It's a way to stay relevant in algorithms. And when you look at Soulja Boy, you know, Soulja Boy, you know, he was dead for a minute, and then he had that Breakfast Club interview, the famous Tiger, that one, right?
Yeah, now he's Drake. Drake.
Right, now he's Drake, right? And so everything about him is a clout chase. Everything about him is a crash out. I remember when he was walking around L.A. talking about he was Pyru, and then he ran up on the Bloods and then put his arm around, talking about, ain't I Pyru? Get your hands off me. Listen, he's searching. He's searching.
I have to disagree with you somewhat because now he was searching, true enough, but he wasn't broke while he was searching. He was still getting money, he had old money filtering in. He was still having things. He just was trying to understand how to keep the things that he had. I don't think it was a thing where I think he knows the game. I think he understands he has to play the game and he has to keep himself relevant. And I think you kind of touched on that a little bit, but I think it's a lot of this stuff is where he's trying to stay in the mix of the algorithm. I think people have gotten an understanding of it, and I think they're playing the internet.
Listen, I'm not gonna put his business out there, but I used to run Atlanta heavy. So when he moved to the West Coast, I'll just say that his paper wasn't as long as what people thought it was. But what I will say is this. Yes, listen, you asked, was it a mental illness? I got news for you. Most celebrities are mentally ill. You know why? Because they're never told no. So imagine as a human being, you on top of the world. You can go to any restaurant you want and you get seated, even if it's packed. You can go anywhere you want. A lot of times, as you know, in this industry, we gift celebrity stuff, right? We do it all the time, right? You got yes men around you. So what happens when the money dries up and you finally told no and you trying to get that spark back, right? You develop different type of mentalities and modalities at that. So when you look at Soulja Boy, it's just crash out culture. It's just crash out culture. Look at me now. I got to be in the algorithm.
Let me read a little bit of this to you. It says, so this is what TMZ wrote. It says Soulja Boy's participation in seemingly harmless TikTok game ended in a complete meltdown. The Crank That rapper threatened to shoot the competition. TMZ hip hop obtained video of Soulja Boy erupting like a volcano on content creator Erotic TV RAMCL and Mellow Rail in a fiery rant as they played for TikTok tokens. Apparently, Soulja wasn't doing so hot. Soulja Boy dared the group to play Big Bank Take Lil Bank before telling Ra he'd shoot him in the face. And so he says, in a fit of rage, Soulja Boy pulled up Ray's page, vowing to hunt him down and find him in person and inflict maximum pain. Soulja Boy threats didn't exactly land as intended. The group simply laughed in his face without flinching. Ra left the stream shortly after, but Soulja and Mello continued to debate. Mello told him he smacked the Soulja's coins from out of his soul, while Soulja laid out a dinner menu for him with his as the main course. Soulja ended the stream cooling off by counting his money and just blowing off everyone as beneath him. Dre, when you look at this, I mean, this is something that TikTok is allowing. I remember I said something light on TikTok and they kind of put me off of there. Is it a thing where they're allowing people to do more on there now?
I think visually you can do more than you can actually say, right? Wasn't that Mexican influencer killed on TikTok live by her?
I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was something like that. I'm just trying. I thought they was really cranking down on doing this stuff, but now they got these games going, these coins going, and they just letting you spaz out. They ain't banning your channel or nothing on there.
Yo, algorithms, man. Algorithms is the new currency, and what happens is, to be relevant, you got to find a way to catch that spark. You know what I mean? That's just the truth.
Is it something to where when you say what he's saying, go find his page? And like I say, Soulja's my guy, bro. I done talked to this dude several times. But this is playing it close, bro, because it's almost become like when the news and the media picking it up, these threats and stuff, it seems kind of weird. That's all I could say. It's tripping me out, you know?
Degenerate behavior, but at the end of the day, as you and I both know, in the industry, all news is good news. All publicity is good publicity, right? And we live in a microwave society. People memory is not. People have a less short-term memory than ever. Like, think about it. Just last year, earlier this year, Soulja Boy, early this summer, Soulja Boy had a civil suit.
Yeah, he did.
For rape. So top of that, with him also having domestic violence charges. Top of that, with him filing bankruptcy, right? Listen, people forget, but as soon as they forget, you got to make them remember, I'm still Soulja Boy. I'm going to crash out. It's a crash out. It's crash out culture.
Let's listen to the rest of this. Culture. Hold on.
Yo, Mello.
Motherfucker crashed out over a TikTok game.
Yo.
Who crashed, nigga? Shut the up. You can get smacked too.
Suck my hole.
Suck my
Suck my hole.
Suck my Suck my you pussy. Wait, what?
Slap you. Shut up.
You talking about you won't do shit, nigga. You a bum. Get off TikTok.
That's been crashed out.
You talking about?
E30, you see? God.
Yeah, out of here. I don't even worry about that. Niggas better stop playing on this app. You know I don't even play like that, gang. On my mama. I don't know what's wrong with what? Y'all don't even worry about that, boy. Y'all know I don't play like that, boy.
So what is going on? I mean, these guys, man, bruh, and I'm telling you, these ain't YNs no more. These cats is they over their 30s and going toward 40, bruh.
Yeah, Soulja Boy, like I said earlier, you know, the one thing about Soulja Boy, he had a lane in his first 2 years of rap where if he would have stayed in that lane, that man would have never had to pick up a microphone again. I remember going through Lenox Mall and seeing little white girls in Atlanta going, Superman that hell! And I was like, if this boy stay on that level, he will be filthy, right? Because once you cross over into the little white girl thing, where they're singing and doing your little dance, but he started hanging around my boy Gucci. Started hanging around G-Wop, Goo-Wop, and he was never the same, man. He wanted to be that street dude.
I think you explaining where YB is at right now. YB is doing what he had going. He's basically took it and crossed it over and filling up 18,000 in a room every night. Young boy, NBA young boy.
I agree with that, but you know, Soulja Boy. Think about it. Soulja Boy, Superman is still playing in NBA arenas, NFL stadiums, right? He had this song called "Do the Bird Walk" for Atlanta Falcons. I mean, it wasn't a big song, but it was the official song for the Atlanta Falcons. And the point that I'm making is he had a lane that he should have stayed in, but he wanted to be Gucci Bandana. He wanted to be Big Soulja Draco. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is when that sand in the hourglass run out, you got to find a way to flip it, right? You got to find a way to stay relevant. And now he's crash out culture. He's like Draco. He's Tiger. He's Draco.
Yeah. But and let me ask you this, because you real sharp on a lot of stuff. I mean, you've been talking for many, many years. People don't know way before Boss Talk 101. But let me ask you this, man. Is it because the music is not really working for him like it used to, far as the streaming, the payouts? Because the payout, if we were back where we used to be and these guys would have kept going the way it was, as far as the record sales and the way things were, they would be on a whole nother hiatus when it come down to the music. Is it a thing where the streaming, because of a million stream gets you $4,000 and them not being able to understand how to maneuver in this time? Because certain ones are doing okay, but then you got those of the old who may not be able to understand how to move in this climate.
Yeah, I think let's look at it from a common sense point of view. If records was moving like that, if your music was providing on you like that, then a rapper would start a podcast every week. Every week there's a new rapper doing a podcast.
Every week.
Right? And so when you think about that, if a rapper is starting a podcast like real content creators, that means that's where the money has shifted.
That's right.
That's where they're going to go. They're only going to go to where the money has shifted, right? Whether they have personality or not, which most of them don't, whether they have interview skills or not, which most of them don't, they're going to go to where the money has shifted, and then you're using your celebrity as a leverage for people to view you. And that's just what it is. So you understand music is not doing it like that. Me still talking to a lot of my rapper friends that I used to dress or just be around, and then when the music was kind of tapering off, you could tell the difference. It's like it's night and day. You can tell the difference. It's a whole different dynamic. That's why, listen, I'm starting to believe most rappers now are getting more money for showing up to podcasts than they're actually getting to show up for shows.
Man, a lot of that has shifted. And I think Boosie was one of the first ones doing big things with Vlad. And a lot of time that is the case. And a lot of them are dependent on just interview money. But I got news for you. Being the one that's got over 5,000 interviews out, and being one that's been in this climate and kind of jumped in a little bit before everybody, before the rappers thought it was cool to podcast, I can tell you that they're not that interested to talk to certain ones. Everybody don't have the as you said earlier, the personality to interview or to be interviewed. So you having to work hard. If you're a person like me who understands what it is to sit behind and try to keep a conversation up on a certain level, a lot of them you having to work to and train them just like an A&R to get their conversation on a level to where it can be enticing and it can be something that's dynamic to the crowd. Now, I don't want to go in too deep, but I'm telling you, there's a whole process to it.
Absolutely. Artists are artists. And then sometimes they're not. Think about it. When I was in the industry, the average artist had to come up to New York for media training.
Right.
They had to. Whether they paid attention or not, they had to sit in the boardroom and learn media training. Right? A lot of them had to do that. And so a lot of them don't have that now. They can't answer a simple question, right? I'm not the biggest Vlad fan, but then you see some Vlad interviews. Vlad has to literally walk the artist into answering the question, right? He has to kind of like walk them into it. You kind of see that sometimes with Art of Dialogue, but see, Art is aggressive in asking his questions. Like, he ain't gonna let you not answer it.
Correct.
He's like, Art go, what do you mean by that, right? Like, he'll say that. He'll literally say, like, what do you mean by that, bro? Like, so a lot of these artists, you have to kind of like drag it out of them. That's the one thing Soulja does have, though. Soulja is going to give you a sound.
Soulja gonna give you what you're looking for, and he's a guy that you can interview, and he could be on the level of a Boosie or any of these other guys because he got so much character. But let me share something else that Soulja got going on. It says Soulja Boy scandal. This is something that happened that came up yesterday. Rapper caught selling rebranded consoles without permission. Soulja Boy is rebranding retro game consoles and selling them as his own without an official agreement with the console manufacturers. And he said the rapper Soulja Boy has been called out by Retro for handheld company Retro for reselling his consoles as his own without the official license deal. So he's having this different, and I heard something about that kind of years ago, where he has this game, this console, and then all of a sudden it becomes a deal where they tripping off of him because he's selling these consoles. And the guy says Soulja Boy is accused of illegally reselling the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 handheld consoles as the Soulja game Flip without licensing, charging over double that the retail price is for. Retroid denies the partnership and warns the potential patent infringement legal actions against the rapper for unauthorized rebranding and sales. They're tired of him dealing with them in this game, but he's pushing the game still. Did he have extra copies, or he manufacturing it without the branding deal and they're mad about it? What's going on with stuff like that, Dre? Is he just being Soulja Boy and just saying, y'all, it's mine too, I'm gonna just sell it illegally?
I think Soulja Boy understands what a lot of people who have money and successful. It costs you money to sue me, and I think that he's doing that type of concept. I think he's like, yo, it's gonna cost you just to sue me, so you might as well let me eat off these side hustles, right? And I listen. This was 3 years ago with the same exact concept with the retro Nintendo game.
Yeah, I remember.
And so I don't know.
I think he went on academics and that's when he was on Breakfast Club when he had that game going back then.
Exactly. And so he said it was a $20 million deal. If you remember, he said it was a $20 million endorsement deal for him to do it. So listen, these celebrities are mentally ill for the most part, right? Because what happens is when their star fall, you start to see them fall, right? They don't land on their feet. They have to do other things, man. They become clowns.
Well,
that's our culture.
Yeah, man. And here's something you got to understand, man. When you look at the hustle, it just switched over. So now the dude that might have been on the street selling dope or doing this or doing that, he might clown and he might get on the internet and then may end up selling some consoles. It's just flipping. It's still a game of doing things that are, against the law or illegal. You're just doing it a different way. Technology has made us change the whole dynamic of who's cool. The nerd became cool because if you was a techie, you billionaire now. So when you start looking at the rappers, is it that the rappers are losing the grounding of the cool look that everybody's used to? Because the rapper used to be the coolest, but now when you look at it, the guy who owns the apps, the guy who owns the technology and can maneuver that well becomes the guy. Whether you want to admit it or not, he is the billionaire. The guy who owns the app is the billionaire. The guy who has a platform is the millionaire. And this is just the way the game is.
Absolutely. Listen, as men, we have to produce, right? So the producer is the one that makes the rules, right? Listen, no matter, the biggest YouTuber does not make more money than YouTube.
There you go. That's all I'm saying.
And so as men, we have to produce, and the producer is always going to be the one that's pulling the strings, and they're also going to be the one. Listen, you know what I learned?
What's that?
The difference between a cool nerd broke nerd using a Ferrari. So if I'm an intellectual and I can literally use eloquence to enchant a woman, but I'm funny looking, if I'm broke, I don't have a chance. But I'm funny looking and eloquent, and I got to pull up in something, I'm Billy D. Williams.
Hey man, listen, man. Thank you for. I'm gonna end this thing, man. But I had to call you, Dre. We ain't talked in about a month or so, maybe a couple of months. As far as when it come down to Boss Talk, I had to get you back in here, man. Dre, to be honest with you, Dre is one of my guys. I know y'all be hearing OG Pyru. I know you hear reality TV. Just to give you the demographic, Dre is on the East Coast. OG Pyru is on the West Coast. And reality TV is down here in the South with me. So that's the dynamic. I've always used that dynamic. Y'all don't even realize what I'm doing, but it's a method to my madness, man. Hey, Drake, one time, how can people get a hold of you, man, if they trying to reach out and listen to your channel? Because I know you be getting to it.
Man, I haven't been doing much on my channel, but it's, just look up Passport Global or Andre Boyce on YouTube. Also, I'm going to fly down there in January before I go to Europe.
So okay.
And I'm going to do the Lord's work.
Come on, man. Bring it, man.
Tell your wife I'm going to bring my belt. Reality TV, I'm going to bring my belt.
Oh, you whooping the women for sure in the shade.
Yeah, we gonna have a discussion. A lot of things don't transpire since I've had these conversations, and I was right about all of them.
Hey, man, last time we interviewed after I interviewed Ice-T over in New Jersey, and man, it was a blessing. You showed me so much love on the East Coast. People don't realize I'm connected and well respected way before the deal. So at the end of the day,
you're suited and booted, man.
They don't even know what they dealing with me, man. But a lot of people be like, man, how you know him? How you know? Man, how long we been grinding? I don't even want to go into it. It'll be crazy if we start talking about how far we go back.
Listen, I'm going to say this to the viewers. E knew me when I was a set. So that's how long E knew me when I was a set. Before I am the man of God now who's over a single mother's house.
Man, listen.
Kids' lunches and drinking their punches.
Say they don't want to. Hey, listen. I know that I got a guy, Dre, gonna give you, he can speak 7 different languages. He can talk from any aspect. This is my guy. We gonna argue. We gonna talk just like me and OG do. And at the end of the day, it's all love. And I can fly out or fly him out, or we can get together. So guys, make sure y'all watch Boss Talk 101. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you download the app. The app is going crazy for the holiday. We got the OG Are You There hoodies. And also, guys, make sure you check out this interview that's going to be popping up right here, this review we did. Donald Trump and Diddy is they looking at doing something at the top of the year. They might let that boy out. And also, is it over for Dirk? Lil Durk. I want you guys to check this video out. Me and OG Pyru just spoke on that. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.